You've probably seen characters like Monica from Friends, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, or Adrian Monk from Monk. They seem super organized and neat. They really care about it. Well, they give us a little peek into OCD, what it might look like, but a lot of times there's a lot more to it. And what they show on TV isn't always correct. You've probably heard someone say, everyone has a little OCD, right? I mean, my room is such a mess and I can't handle it. I always have to clean it. Nah. That's not how it works. Let's break down some of those myths and get to the truth of what OCD really is. And I'm curious if you've experienced what I'm about to talk about. And I know that last myth is something that I bet you'll relate to. So let's get to it. Myth number 1, OCD is all about being clean and organized. Now you might be scratching your head thinking, well, I'm a total mess. My room is completely dirty and I don't care. I don't think I have OCD then. Well, hold on to your hats because we're about to shatter that misconception. At the heart of OCD are intrusive, downright distressing thoughts. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine Jimmy, who's convinced he left something on the counter, something that can make his family sick. So what does he do? He spends hours scrubbing that counter until it shines brighter than ever. But here's the kicker. Jimmy is not just doing it because he loves to clean things. He's doing it to calm down those terrifying thoughts. All those what ifs in his brain. His brain said there was danger. He's got to do something to fix it, even if he wasn't actually in danger. But here's the plot twist. OCD doesn't always show up as cleanliness. No. Comes in all shapes and sizes. Some folks battle with fears, hurting themselves. Others can't shake off those taboo thoughts. They keep creeping in. These things are like, ooh, I shouldn't be thinking about this. And why do I keep thinking about it? I don't want to keep thinking about these things. And let's not forget about those who have to perform certain rituals just to keep their anxiety at bay. So if you're wondering whether you might have OCD, remember it's not just about scrubbing those countertops. If you're struggling, don't sweat it. There are treatments out there. Myth number 2, people with OCD are just rigid and lazy. If they wanted to stop their compulsions, they could just do it. It's way more complicated than that. Well, if you're so worried about it, just stop doing it. Stop thinking about it. Nah, it doesn't work that way. Imagine this. Compulsions are like your brain's response to an alarm going off. You can't just ignore it. You hear it. It's loud, it's annoying, it's threatening you. Follow my rules exactly the way I say it. Not easy. I'm not gonna turn off this alarm until you do it. Now here's the thing. Doing compulsions isn't about laziness. It's not a lack of willpower. These behaviors feel like a security blanket. They comfort these individuals from these scary thoughts, and it gets those alarms to slow down. Who wants to hear that blaring alarm all day long? Think about my friend Jenny. Her mind races with thoughts all day long. Did I turn off the stove before I left the house, for example? The only thing that eases her mind is checking it again and again and again. But what started as a simple, just double check before I go, turned into a big routine, causing unnecessary stress and anxiety. Even if she is sure she did it, I did it 15 times, she's still not sure. So how do you break free from these compulsions? Well, it's not a walk in the park, but here's some strategies that can help. Number 1, identify triggers. Figure out what sets off this urge to do the compulsion. Write them all down. Number 2, delay the compulsions. Try holding off as long as you can. Maybe you're setting a timer. I really want to go check that stove, but I'm going to wait 10 minutes and see how I feel. And then after that 10 minutes, maybe I do another 10 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I have all the responses ready. Do you remember what those responses are for OCD? They're like, maybe, maybe not. Maybe the stove's on, maybe not. Maybe my house will burn down, maybe not. Maybe I'll really do this thing my brain says I'm gonna do, maybe not. I don't know, maybe. Some people agree with it. I'm gonna leave that stove on. Cool, I hope I left that stove on. Cool, yep, I hope I did do that thing. Yep, maybe I will, maybe I won't. It's taking all that power away. Number 3, create a hierarchy. All the compulsions are not created equal. Some are easier than others to start tackling, and people can do that. They can start tackling just the easy ones first and move on to the big ones. Some people choose to do all of them. Number 4, obviously, use treatment. Talking about OCD is great, but what's even better is doing the work. Using exposures to face the threats and the fears. So here's myth number 3. The idea that medication is the only effective treatment. But hold your horses. Therapy can be really great, but therapy versus medication. Medication can't solve all the problems. Sure, taking it might seem like an easy fix. I love medication. I'm just gonna say it right now. It can really help, but it's not the only thing. We have to have that treatment as well. And the treatment I'm talking about is exposure and response prevention, because we got the treatment, we got the medication, you got both hands working here. You're gonna have a better chance of working on this stuff. But medications don't work for everything. They don't work for everyone. Some people might have side effects. Some people just choose not to, which is totally fine. You don't have to have the medications to get better. But Some people that I've seen that take it are like, oh, that was amazing. I should have done this a long time ago. I think of taking something like ibuprofen for a headache. I take it, and most of the time the headache's gone. Until the next time. Then I gotta take it again. Medication for OCD isn't exactly like that. We don't take it and then it's like, oh, that's gone. Huh, cool. Helps us manage treatment a little bit easier, so it's better for you. Maybe it takes an 8 out of 10 of anxiety and brings it down to a 4, so you can do the treatment a lot easier. Here's the last myth. Some people show the idea that it's a superpower. OCD, yes, I've got OCD. It's so great and fun. It's exciting. Oh, no way. You might have heard people say stuff like, OCD is a gift. Treat it like something that is a special ability that you have. But let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, we can see some positives to OCD where people feel like, yes, it helped me with my career and all these things, but most of the time, it's a daily struggle that interferes in somebody's life through their thoughts all the way to their actions. So you think about being tormented by an intrusive thought and compulsion all day long. Maybe it's bathing, maybe it's leaving the house, could be eating. The reality is that many people with OCD struggle, but many with OCD have gotten better too. When we glamorize OCD and treat it like a cool trait or personality thing, we're actually doing it a disservice. It can make people feel like they are overreacting for the struggles they are going through, or maybe they're not as valid. Plus, it just adds to the stigma of mental illness. So let's set the record straight. OCD is not a superpower. It's a serious condition that deserves compassion, proper treatment, but I get it. People don't know any better unless they've experienced it themselves or they know someone that has. We're just going off what we see in the media. So we also want to give these people some grace as well and educate. This is one of those videos you send to your friends and your family to show them like, this is what OCD looks like. Maybe it's not what you think. If you aren't sure if you have OCD or not, I've got tests that go through this. Obviously, it's not an official diagnosis, but it can help you go down the right road. Also, if you're looking for that treatment, I've got my step-by-step online course that can help you. I'm gonna link that down below. So have you heard any of these things about OCD? What does OCD look like for you? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. But he's doing this not because he's da-ba-da-ba-da.